Are you ready? We good? Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to properly clean an auto body paint gun. This is a Sata Jet, and I just got done clearing something. So first thing you want to do is you want to empty your material into a cup or whatnot. This has a metal cup. If you're using what they call a PPS adapter, then it's not going to really apply. Some of it will apply, but there you go. So you just want to empty your material in there, and I actually squeeze the trigger, and this releases all the fluid down in the cup, or from the neck of the gun into the cup. And then I take a little bit of lacquer thinner and spray it in the inside of the cup. I need to cut this off so it'll flow a little faster, but put some lacquer thinner in there, and then I'll shake it up. There's a hole there, you can plug the hole. You'll shake it up, and then I'm going to pull the trigger, just kind of flush it a little bit. And I'll loosen the cap a little bit so it kind of gets in here and whatnot. So I'll release all the fluid from there. Then I'll fill it up again, just a little bit. You can see just maybe that much. And I'll take my air hose, and then I'll take the fan from wide open, which you turn the fan control knob, that's wide open. I'll back it off all the way to a bullet, and then turn my air down, and I'll run a little lacquer thinner through it. And I even take my finger up. You be careful, you take your finger in front of the fan here, and you can, what they call backswash it. You saw it a little bit came out, so like that. And then basically I'll take the cap off here. This is called your air cap. You want to be careful doing this. You don't want to drop your gun at this point. But I'll take a little bit of lacquer thinner, and I'll kind of spray it on the cap. This is an acid brush, they call it. So I'll take this, and if you maybe zoom in a little bit, or just come closer, but I'll kind of scrub the tip. I just use clear coat, so it's a pretty quick job, so there shouldn't be a lot of product on here. So I'll clean it out real well, and then I'll flush it with lacquer thinner. I'll set it aside over here. We're using our trusty trash can over here today. So this is the that's the air cap. This is the head right here. I can even use the same acid brush. Just want to kind of scrub the tip off a little bit, and then flush it, of course. And then I'll take the air cap and put it back on. You can go as far as, if you wanted to, you could pull this needle out. So I'll just show you real quick. So what you would do is you take this fluid control knob, is what they call it. Remove that. You want to be extremely careful. You don't want to bend the needle. So you'll pull the spring out carefully, and then I pull the trigger, which kind of pushes the needle back, and then pull it straight. But you want to be real careful you don't bend it. These are super delicate. So you can take this, and I'll set it off to the side real quick. There's a little bit of material on there. I'll just put a little bit of lacquer thinner on there. You could take a Scotch-Brite or something like that to clean it, but just wipe the material off so it's nice and clean. If you were to ever, so you have your air cap, if you're ever going to take this head off, you want to use a wrench or a socket, but you want to remove the needle first. That's the most important thing. If you leave this in when you remove this, you have there's an opportunity to bend the needle. So I like to remove my needle first, so there's no option to bend it or break it or damage it. So okay, so we're pretty much clean. I'm going to put the needle in carefully, and I'll seat it, and then we'll put the spring back in, and then the fluid control knob. So you want to just push it directly in and seat it. I can even back the trim nut back, but basically we'll seat the knob here. push it right in like that. Then I pull the trigger, and then I run this knob all the way in, and until it kind of, you feel pressure on the trigger, and that shows you that you're wide open, and then you could adjust it from there. So once I have this clean in the air cap, I'll put the air cap back on. And you always want to align it so it's straight. If you align it so it's sideways, your spray pattern will be sideways. So you want to align it so it's essentially straight. Then I'll basically I'll put a little bit of thinner back on this rag over here, or on the rag. I don't know if I ever did it, but and then I'll wipe the exterior portion of the gun off. And then I'll clean the cup and whatnot. I'll wipe the body down. I'll wipe the air gauge. I have a Sata air gauge on here. I'll do a good job just kind of wiping everything down. If you're gonna, you always want to use a clean rag when you're doing this. You do not want to use something that's been laundered or anything like that. You want to use like a Bounty towel, or this is an actual professional towel. But you can run it inside your cup a little bit. But like I said, you don't want to use anything that's laundered. Potentially it can cause fish eyes. So you don't want to do that. So I'll scrub the inside of the cup out. So the gun's pretty much clean. And then I'll clean the cap. We'll take our little acid brush, and there's gun cleaning kits you can buy that are pretty extensive and have all sorts of little different tools to clean your gun, which are awesome. Here's another one. Here's a little nylon brush. This is a little more stiff, so if you have something, or you've been painting a lot, you might need a little bit of a nylon brush that's a little more coarse. So I'll clean it, and then I'll take this rag and wipe the excess. Biggest thing is you want to make sure your guns are super clean so they spray right. If you don't clean them right, then they're not going to spray very well. So this is Debbie behind the camera. Say hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Here you go. So I'm going to fill it up with thinner, probably about like that much. And we'll spray a little bit through. And then I'm going to flush it again. So I just turn my air pressure down, which is I have on a cheater valve here, a Sata cheater valve. And I turn the air pressure down, and like I said, if you just spray it like that, and the pattern's in a bullet, if you just spray it like that, it'll flush the gun. But I like to actually put my finger in front of it. You want to use it with low pressure and be careful, but you can see the little spits coming out of the top here. It's basically lacquer thinner, and I'm back flushing this tube here. So it's clean. I'll take the fan and dial it back to all the way wide open. That way the next time I go to use it, I don't forget. But you should never spray it on a panel anyways. You should spray it away from the panel, just in case. If for some reason, I'll show you real quick, if you're using PPS cups, here's how I do it. So you basically take this cup off, and if there's a PPS adapter, usually fits in here, I'll take it and pretend there's an adapter in there, and take it and scrub the adapter, and then just run thinner through it. So that's pretty much how you do it. Just use as much thinner as you see fit. I'd use however much it takes is however much it takes. It's just super important to keep these guns clean. They're very expensive guns. Even these little minis are probably close to 500 bucks now. So if it costs you a half a pint of lacquer thinner or a pint of thinner, in the end it really doesn't matter. You just want to make sure they're in good shape and they're ready to spray for the next one. So that's it. That's how to clean a paint gun. So this video's for RT.